is a matter of choice, seeking for meaning in life for a certain purpose. Life is not always as it seems, and it is a long story to perceive the true meaning of life. By letting go of my loss and setting boundaries to all of my desires. And this is how I perceive the true essential meaning of my life. This is Borobudur Temple. The majestic Buddhist legacy was built by the ruling Sailendra dynasty between 780 to 840 AD. The magnificent monument was built as a place of worship and pilgrimage, filled the guidance and wisdom for men to stay away from worldly desires, to reach for enlightenment as according to teaching of the Buddha. A British expedition led by Sir Thomas Stanford Raffles rediscovered this monument in 1814. All the temple area is finally cleared by 1835. The Borobudur Temple was built in mandala style, which mirrors the universe in Buddhist beliefs. Basic structure forms a square with 4 entrances and circular center point. It is divided into 2 parts, namely, on the outside, the earth, which is divided into 3 zones, and on the inner side, heaven or nirvana. Now, Borobudur always become the center point during celebration of Vesak Day. This is Biksu Pusan, a monk who has attained title of Suhu or Master due to the years of seniority after tens of years of dedication. Biksu is a term used for a Buddhist religious leader who focuses more on religious activities outside the vihara or temple of worship. A bhiksu is also engaged more in social activities within the community. Today, he led Buddhist followers in performing a ritual at Borobudur Temple called Sanbuyi, which means 3 steps, 1 prostrating. The ritual this morning is an opening before entering the main temple.
Berarti untuk kegiatan hari ini adalah kita melaksanakan kegiatan ritual Sanpu Ipai yang dilaksanakan di marga utama dengan arti yaitu 3 langkah namaskara sekali. Jadi kegiatan ini adalah salah satu bagian dari ritual meditasi bergerak. Karena di dalam Buddhis meditasi itu ada meditasi diam atau meditasi duduk. Yang kedua adalah meditasi bergerak.
After the Sanbuyi ritual, bhiksu and the devotees proceed to the main temple of Borobudur, where they solemnly recite prayers and concluded the ritual by walking around the main stupa of Borobudur while remain reciting the prayers. For Bhiksu Samanta are mostly known as Suhu Pusan, being a servant to the congregation is his form of self-dedication. preaching and teaching the good ways of the Buddha relentlessly.
Barusan yang kita lakukan adalah kegiatan pradaksina atau meditasi berjalan mengelilingi stupa utama Candi Borobudur. Ini adalah salah satu praktek nyata dari ajaran Buddha, yaitu tentang bagaimana kita mensucikan hati dan pikiran, yaitu dengan fokus kepada bagaimana kita menata. Dengan salah satu cara metodenya adalah melafalkan pujian kepada Guru Agung kita, Sakyamuni Buddha, kalau di dalam bahasa Mandarin dengan melafalkan Namo Pensese Ja Monifo secara berulang-ulang. Jadi kita bersyukur bahwasanya kegiatan ini khususnya untuk hari ini telah terlaksana dengan sukses, dengan harapan adalah semoga acara rangkaian Waisak secara keseluruhan bisa berjalan dengan lancar.
The commitment to be a servant of the people is something he must embrace. The teachings of the Buddha send messages of peace for human beings. Uniting the vast diversity in Nusantara is among the challenging tasks to do.
Kata kunci dari ajaran Buddha itu adalah tentang bagaimana kita bisa damai terlebih dahulu, yaitu batin yang tentram. Batin yang tentram itu akan menimbulkan rasa yang bahagia, akan menciptakan yaitu energi positif, akan menciptakan hati yang bersih, hati yang murni. Hati yang bersih akan memunculkan ucapan bersih, memunculkan pikiran bersih, memunculkan perkataan bersih, tindakan perbuatan, dan akhirnya membentuk suatu karakteristik kepribadian, dan yang terakhir adalah nasib yang positif juga.
Today, a part of community of Magelang City await the arrival of the Bantes or Biksu Tudong, the wandering monks from Thailand. Tudong is a ritual journey undertaken by the Bantes or Biksu through thousands of kilometers on foot. According to the Pali language, Tudong derived from the word dutanga, which means rigorous practice. This practice is performed as a way to fulfill the command of the Buddha, which is the 13 practices of aesthetic, meaning that the Bante must harmonize with nature, achieve meditative states. Not every Bante or Bhiksu is capable of undertaking the yearly ritual journey, which took about 4 months. Instead, these are Bhiksu Aranyaka or Bantes that have taken an oath of living as wandering monks. In the process of Tudong ritual, the Bantes are required with strict discipline in fasting, emotional management, meditation, and living a modest way of life. In the 4 months, rides through thousands of kilometers, the Bantes are only provided with minimal amount of money and food. They profoundly believe in the values of kindness and virtue of generosity as through by the Buddha. And the community they encounter along the way willingly provided them with material and mental support. In the extraordinary journey, the Bantes go through forest, mountains, caves, and scare places. Along the way, They strive to overcome the three developments in Buddhism, namely anger incurrence and desire. After passing through the crowd, the Bhantes are welcomed by the devotees and other bhikshus at the Lianghok Bio Vihara, located right at the heart of Magelang City. The ceremony to welcome the wandering monks or the Tudong bhikshus begins with foot washing ritual as a sign of respect for their success of thousands of kilometers travel. After the foot washing ritual, the 35 Tudong bhikshus are invited to enter the Lianghok Bio Vihara, where they then joined by the congregation to commence in a mass prayer. This morning, the Tudong Bhantes performed Pindapata ritual, a religious practice customary to Vesak Day celebration. In Pindapata, the devotees are provided with opportunity offer alms to the Tudong bhikshus. The Tudong monks, along with other bhikshus, walk around the city center of Magelang, while the devotees prepare themselves on the roadside to give something to the monks, whether it be drinks, food, or other forms of offerings. This is Bhante Victor. He is the one preparing everything at the place of worship for the Vesak festival. That is his main task as a Bhante. Similar like a Suhupusan, where he has made his choice to commit in becoming servant to the people.
Alasannya ya karena kalau misalnya mungkin sebagai perumah tangga ya tentunya ya Bapak Ibu semua tahu bagaimana realita kehidupan Anda ya begitu banyak cobaan dan tantangan. Nah kalau saya memutuskan untuk jadi biku karena saya mau memutuskan untuk menjadi orang yang bermanfaat untuk banyak orang ya karena Bante dari Manado kita punya semboyan yaitu Sito Timoto Moto, manusia memanusiakan orang lain. Jadi dengan memilih jalan biku ya atau menjadi biku sangga, nah kami punya lebih banyak waktu, lebih banyak tenaga, lebih banyak kesempatan untuk menolong banyak orang ya. Dibandingkan kalau tentunya saya seorang perumah tangga, saya hanya mengurus keluarga sendiri. Ya, seperti itu.
Today, the bhikshus performed the sacred fire ritual. This is the last series of ritual before the pinnacle of Vesak festival. The flame of Dharma symbolizes spirit, a light that illuminates darkness. The activity of taking the Dharma flame is held in Grobogan Regency, especially in the Merapen area. Next, the flame of Dharma will be consecrated at Mendut Temple. Here, the bhikshus and devotees offer prayers.
Nah, kan kita melihat api ini sebagai api ini adalah sebagai penerang, ya, penerang seperti Dharma yang diajarkan sama Sang Buddha, yaitu dapat menerangi semua alam samsara.
Other series of activity is taking of the sacred water from the Jumprit water spring in Temanggung Regency, Central Java. This ritual is performed a day after the Dharma flame. The holy water is also then consecrated at Mendut Temple. For Buddhists, water is a symbol of serenity and humility. Water and fire are two elements considered of close emotional connection within beings on earth. One of the teachings of the Buddha is for being to take care and do no harm to each other. Vesak Festival is held by Buddhist community to commemorate Buddha Gautama, the great spiritual teacher, around 5th century BC. Vesak is also observed at other various countries, such like the Visakha Puja or Buddha Purnima in India, Sagadawa in Tibet, Visakha Puja in Thailand, Vesak in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Singapore. Today, carrying the sacred fire and water, all the monks undertake a journey from Mendut to Borobudur Temple for the peak of Vesak Day celebration. Notice the 3 different colors of the robes. They represent the three different branches in Buddhism: Theravada, Mahayana, and Tantrayana. With the pinnacle to Vesak festival only moments away, the devotees are taking places, preparing to recite prayers. Today, hundreds of Buddhist followers coming from various corners of the world gather here with the sole purpose, one perfect disposition to pray to the Buddha. Vesak marks three significant events which occurred in the life of Buddha Gautama, or the great teacher for the Buddhist community. They are the birth of the Buddha Gautama, his journey toward complete enlightenment, and his departure, which is known as the Holy Tide of Vesak. Every year, Vesak Day falls on different date, but it usually occurs in the month of May, or according to the Buddhist calendar or era. It does not only honor the birth, spiritual journey, and death of the Buddha, but also carries significant meanings. The meaning of Vesak or Vaisak is associated with three events known as the Holy Tide of Vesak. First is the birth of Siddhartha Gautama, a prince son of King Suddhodana and Queen Mahamaya. Siddhartha was born in Lumbini Garden, 623 BC. The second meaning is the great enlightenment attained by Siddhartha Gautama. After Siddhartha was born, the leader of Seir, Asita Kaladewala, predicted that in the future Siddhartha will become emperor of the world of Chakrawatin. Then at 35, Siddhartha Gautama received the great enlightenment. He then became the Buddha in Bodh Gaya in Vesak month. The third meaning of Vesak commemoration is Parinibbana. The passing of Buddha occurred in 543 BC. He was 80 years old. Upon his passing, the Buddhist followers bowed down to pay their final respect as homage to the Buddha. In the evening, after the culmination of Vesak festival, the Buddhist community engaged in another ritual which attracts tourists to visit the Borobudur temple. It is a lantern release ritual. It is one of the highly anticipated moments by tourists and participants alike. The lantern release ritual symbolizes elevation of prayers and wishes. By releasing lanterns up to the night sky, it is hoped that the prayers and wishes will be fulfilled. Each lanterns set up represent prayers of individuals, letting go all the negativity in their hearts and with the hope to become a better version of themselves in the future. If we live as true human beings without causing harm to one another, all can live in peace without fear. That is the values imparted by the Buddha in his teachings to his followers. It is only fitting that we, as human beings, should strive to protect one another and retrieve from causing harm.